World PvP.
Yeah, open world, exactly.
Okay, open world PvP. Bow. Where do you put it? Ulf?
So, bow. Right, open world
Yeah.
PvP. I would probably go with like B tier, maybe A. It's hard to say. Also, it depends if you are a good aimer, because bow is kind of hard to aim compared to musket, as that is its scan. If you're going to solo open world, I would probably put it to A.
It's got to be... I think if you're in a group, it's got to be lower than musket. If you're solo, it's got to be higher than a musket, right? Because you've got the hip fire into aim down sight shot, into piercing shot, which is a lot of burst damage. Because you can pop out 3 shots like that in like 1.5 seconds. And like burst damage is king in like solo open world PvP. But A tier is pretty high.
Going solo, let me think about other weapons real quick in my head. Where are you gonna put them? Well, S++ is obvious. This as well. I don't know. I would still go with A.
You'd still go with A? I think
Yeah.
I'd have to put it in B because it's got movement speed on it. Okay, you know what? I could put it in A for the movement speed. Because you've got multiple ways of activating haste. I could do that. Great Axe. For open world.
Great Axe open world. It's gotta be S++, man. That Bloodlust. Oh, baby.
S++?
Well, I would probably keep that spot for lifestyle, because lifestyle is king for any situation. We have a lot of rows. I would go with S+ then. For Great
S+
Axe.
for Great Axe.
It
is the only weapon that can chase people down.
True.
Which means it's got to be high. But what else does it have? It doesn't have big damage. It doesn't have like big. It doesn't have big. Let's be honest.
Even light attacks do a lot, man. Well, not to heavy builds though. Yeah, and con builds. Yeah. It's kind of true. Even if you stack light attacks.
I think. S+ versus S, right? So I mean, I could give it S+ just because of Bloodlust, just because it's the and the tracking. Like, you need a Great Axe to do open world PvP. If you don't have a Great Axe, you can't get kills in open world PvP. Like, just straight up, right? Like, that's out of the question.
Especially when it comes to melee weapons, yeah.
I could probably agree with that. What about fire staff?
We talked about fire staff yesterday, huh?
Yeah, we did. I like it.
I would go with S, man.
I'd go with S as well, definitely.
Yeah.
I like the burnout build on this. You're gonna have like a little bit of chase with burnout. You've got like infinite mana. Obviously you can noob bait people with incinerate. Fireball, very, very strong. You've got range options. The only problem with fire staff is literally it doesn't have sustain. It doesn't have any way of keeping yourself alive.
That's
right,
true.
Hatchet.
Hatchet?
We're gonna disagree on this one. Sorry,
Let's see here.
C is a good idea. Yeah, no, you're thinking right.
Well, it's definitely worse than Great Axe, so I would put it with Fire Staff on S tier. Because of the sustain from Berserk, movement speed, the health as well, and immunity to stagger.
I'm somewhere between C and D tier. All of its sustain, all of its sustain is just outclassed by life staff, and it can't be used as a main weapon because you can't chase people with it.
100%.
And the stagger immunity doesn't really work because not too many things stagger. Like, they mainly do like hard CC. The only saving grace I have for the hatchet is the proc def. And I think the proc def saves it from being D tier. Because if it weren't for that, I think there's legitimately no reason to ever use the hatchet.
Oh yeah, that I agree with. Hatchet without it is complete trash.
Yeah. That doesn't mean you can't do well with it though.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like... Could you really put it in the S tier when the life staff exists?
Don't let him bully you, A tier.
Or even A tier? Because, like, what weapon here can a hatchet beat? Like a pure hatchet, what can you beat here?
Almost anything besides life staff, to be honest. I'm speaking from my own experience, to be honest.
I think you could beat spear. The problem is, like, it's so hard to catch someone. If they're in light roll, like, how do you ever damage them with a hatchet? I think you have to, like, if you time the feral rushes, you can do something, but I don't think it's that good. I think somebody has to run up to you and just left click you for hatchet to be effective. And in that case, I could probably put it as B tier because you've got Raging Torrent and you've got your proc death, which are two things that allows you to get kills that you have no business getting kills. But again, like, I think life staff is better because then you can use your great axe to do things. So I don't think it belongs in S tier. That's probably something we're gonna disagree on.
That's fine.
I would have rated it a lot higher before, but I think it's just bad.
I mean, it's weaker than what we have seen in Alpha.
Ice Gauntlet.
Ice Gauntlet, I would put that to probably A because of the control. Because if you lock somebody in Ice Storm or Ice Shower, and if you hit every single heavy attack, your target is just frozen and cannot do anything. Just stand on the ground. I gotta say though that the damage is kind of low. Well, with 300 intelligence build, endgame might be a bit different, but yeah, I would say A.
I like that Ice Gauntlet is the best defensive weapon in the game. If you outnumber somebody and you've got an Ice Gauntlet, you're not gonna die, and you're gonna make like that outnumbered situation like very, very strong for you. Because if they try and run at you, you've got Ice Storm, you've got Ice Wind, you've got Pylon. Like it's as like somebody who does like a lot of 1vxing and a lot of like 5vxing.
We're both adults here, you know.
Running into an Ice Gauntlet like really, really sucks. Thanks for the sub, by the way. Yeah. Life staff.
Oh, S++, man.
S++.
No comment there.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. People say that life staff is balanced because it doesn't do that much DPS. Those people haven't used life staff to DPS people because it does more damage than most of the weapons on this list.
Yeah, with light attack even. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Like light attack into overprotection into light attack into beacon pretty much outdamages, like, it outdamages musket, it outdamages rapier, it doesn't outdamage spear, it outdamages like sword. It's fine.
Yeah, completely fine. Balanced weapon.
Yeah. Musket. Open world PvP.
Open world? I cannot help it, but musket felt really weak, man. So... I would go even with C tier.
It does...
D or C tier.
It does feel weak, but... Here's the thing. If you outnumber people, and you're using the trapper line with traps...
True. I was about to talk about that, yeah.
Yeah. With traps and sticky bombs, now you're in, like, you're doing a lot better. I think it can definitely be popped up to the B tier if you outnumber your opponent.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, if you've got like 10-to-1 odds, then the musket's S++ too. But if you've got like 2-to-1 odds with like the trapper tree, then you're gonna be like, it's a lot of CC. It's a lot of CC. You can't iframe through the traps anymore. They removed that out of the game, which is disgusting.
I know. That's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can land your traps into sticky bombs, then it's really GG. You cannot do anything in traps.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is quite insane.
Yeah, you get trapped, and then if you're in a group fight, like, you can just kill that guy in the group fight. I feel like, but you have to have better numbers. But for open world PvP, I think we should talk about like, look, if you've got a number advantage, musket's good and ice gauntlet's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Rapier.
Rapier, open world, movement and all that. Probably A tier I would go with A tier with evade and riposte.
This is kind of like this is the one thing where I'll put Rapier in the same tier as Lifestaff. Because for everything else, it has to be in a tier of its own above Lifestaff. Because you can't really abuse like the chain flurry that well in open world. But in everything else you can abuse the hell out of chain flurry. But you get chain, obviously, so you're proccing chain 5 times, which can damage. It deals 20 procs of damage right there, which, you know, resets your flurry cooldown. You can go into like an int build to maximize your damage off of your chain, and you get like 30% healing off of your flurry. So you're also like self-sustained god. You have the highest DPS in the game. Crazy. You have the highest self-sustain in the game. You can't even iframe through chains. It's just broken. It's just absolutely broken. Yeah. I
might even use that build, man, later on.
I probably will as well. I'll probably be playing Rapier Firestaff, I think.
Ooh, very nice. I was about to ask you, what build you're gonna play with. Sounds
Something
good.
Like that. I think I wrote a build down here.
Mm-hmm.
But people on my... Wait, you can see this on the screen share as well, right?
Yeah.
The Rapier. We have an S++ here with the Firestaff and the Ice Gauntlet with the 50 dex, 300 and 155 con build. Very, very strong. Just spamming Flurry and Evade and Fleshing.
Yeah,
I think you drop Riposte. It's not something I know if I want to talk about, but yeah, that is like actually just broken. Spear. We could probably both agree on this one, right?
Spear? Yeah, C, D tier.
Yeah, D tier.
Pretty trash. Yeah.
Absolutely trash. Sword?
So for solo, I would go with C even as well. I mean, it's pretty unkillable if you know how to play, especially against melee builds. Well, if you build the offensive side, that's the thing. I haven't met anybody who went with offensive tree and who played it offensively. I haven't met any good tank. So it's kind of hard to... you can have some nice combos, though, with Shield Bash into reverse step.
I got, like, this build over here that's designed for 200 strength, 150 in. Where you go, like, pretty much full left side's tree. And then you just grab these things. Like, you can still do it. Like, one of the things is... Like, this is like a full balls to the wall. But my recommended build, where you still take, like, the shield bash and stuff. And it's very similar to the old way you used to play it. Right. But you take advantage of your perma slows. If you hit someone with a shield bash, you can either execute them with the very high damage you get off reverse stab. But you can also guarantee a leaping strike into the back. And then they're slowed for 10 seconds.
Yeah, that slow is crazy.
Yeah. It's one of the only ways to chase people in the open world. And it's one of the only ways to, like, deal with ranged people as well. So I think I'd put Sword probably, like, in the B tier. Rather than C
sounds about right.
I don't think it's that bad. And then obviously, like, if you've got if you're in, like, a group v group, you can block for your ranges. Because you can block ranged attacks and everything. And you can just be like really, really, really annoying as a tank as well.
Yeah, you can totally, be a bruiser kind of.
It also it does a lot of damage when you hit somebody with the slow, because it's got the highest left clicks in the game. Because you get empowered on the shield and on the weapon, which means you can get a 20% empowered plus chain. It's very strong. And then hammer, I think just fits nicely in here.
Exactly. What was I supposed to say?
Slightly better than the spear.
Which is sad, man. Even after the buffs it got from the alpha going into beta, but still it's not enough.